Legend Mick Foley, and you are watching C-RadTV here, right here on YouTube. Have a nice day.
This is Cody Diener, and you are watching C-RadTV on YouTube. And just like Cody Diener, C-RadTV lives by two simple words. Just give her, yeah.
How's it going, guys? It's RadC at a WWE Monday Night Raw review from May 27th. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we start off Raw with, of course, a Memorial Day video package. Since Memorial Day was Monday, you know, where we honored all the men and women in the U.S. that put their lives on the line to give everyone in the U.S. the freedoms we enjoy today. So you have that, and they do that throughout the night. So then continuing on. So then when we get to actually starting Raw, we start off with WWE Kofi Kingston coming out to the ring. Kofi goes on and mentions that Kevin Owens has re-injured Big E's knee. Now, I would go and say that the WWE was going to punish Big E, but I guess the knee injury might be just enough. Because Big E was also, because if you didn't hear, last weekend was AEW's Double or Nothing. And Big E was talking praise about AEW. And Vince did not like that. Xavier was also doing that too. So odds are the whole entire New Day is going to be punished. And Kofi Kingston is probably going to get punished too in the process, even though he did nothing wrong. Because of that whole one bad apple spoils the bunch cliche, which is just fucking stupid. So yeah, don't be surprised within the next month or so if Kofi Kingston ends up losing the WWE title. Because Vince McMahon and the wrestling gods show no mercy. But continuing on, Kofi goes on and says that Dolph Ziggler didn't finish the job Tuesday when Dolph tried to take Kofi out. So Kofi goes on and says that he's here tonight for Brock Lesnar, because Brock actually showed up for work today again. So the price was right in Kansas City. So Kofi goes on and says that he needs to beat Brock Lesnar to become the greatest WWE champion of all time. So I need to beat this guy to become the greatest champion in WWE history, cliche. So then Seth Rollins' music hits, and then the Universal Champion Seth Rollins comes out to the ring. So Seth goes and says that he's better than Kofi. And then Seth says that he doesn't want to wait all night for Brock Lesnar. So then Seth goes and asks for Brock Lesnar to come out to make his decision. So then Brock Lesnar's music hits, and Brock Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman. We start off with Brock's theme, and then it changes to a beatbox music theme. And oh, by the way, Brock Lesnar took the Money in the Bank contract, and he turned it into a beatbox. Whoopee. So Brock gets in the ring, he does a little dance to the beatbox. And then the beatbox music then changes to Kofi Kingston's New Day theme. I guess Brock just wants to have a party, and plus Brock has the new sweaters that say Brock Party on it. So then after about a minute of Kofi's theme playing, the beatbox then changes the theme to Seth Rollins' theme. Oh, by the way, they messed up the theme. You forgot the whole burn it down part. And then during this theme, Paul Heyman would go and play an air guitar to it. It got to the point to where Seth pretty much just went and fucked off and left the ring. So then Paul Heyman goes on and says that Seth likes to pee on everybody's parade. They have to say pee because it's a PG show. Paul, I think you can get away with saying piss on everyone's parade. So then Paul says that Seth Rollins has ruined the Brock Party. The fans then booed intensively. Paul tried to shut down the boos, but the boos just intensified even more. Then Paul says that the WWE Universe shouldn't blame Brock Lesnar. They should boo and blame Seth Rollins. So then Paul and Brock leave the ring. As they're walking up the ramp, Dolph Ziggler comes out from the crowd and attacks Kofi Kingston from behind again. Dolph goes, he then hits the zigzag on the ramp on Kofi Kingston. So then when Dolph was looking to still continue the attack, Xavier Woods then runs out and goes after Dolph Ziggler. Dolph then goes and leaves in the crowd. We then go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break. Kofi Kingston is getting helped out of the arena by medical staff and Xavier Woods. And Dolph Ziggler comes back out from the crowd and attacks Xavier Woods from behind to start another brawl. So both Dolph and Xavier will then brawl. They go through the crowd. Xavier goes, he throws a trash can at Dolph Ziggler. Xavier's just taking out the trash now. Dolph then goes, he fights back on Xavier with a steel chair. Pretty much destroying his entire back to the chair. So is this Xavier's punishment? Okay. So as Dolph Ziggler is about to do a leg drop on Xavier's neck, with the chair position on Xavier's windpipe, Kofi Kingston comes back out with a chair, and then Dolph retreats through the crowd again. So then we go to another commercial break. When we come back from the second commercial break, Kofi Kingston helps Xavier up, and Xavier needs to use the chair to get up on his own power. And during that entire commercial break, Dolph Ziggler is able to get all the way to the backstage area. And then Dolph comes back out. And Dolph has a mic in hand. Dolph goes on and says that Kofi has been wasting his time on Brock and should be worrying more about him. And then Dolph goes on and says that seeing Kofi with the WWE title should be him. So Dolph goes on and says that he's looked up to Kofi. And that Kofi inspires him. And then Dolph said that he called everyone that called Kofi Kingston a B+ player a liar. So we're back to the B+ bullshit again. So then Dolph goes on and asks Kofi what will happen if Dolph goes in and takes the WWE title at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. Wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be the punishment. Odds are Kofi's probably going to retain, but Kofi will probably drop it at Stomping Grounds. Because of punishment for New Day, for Big E and Xavier, talking praise about AEW, which is now a rival brand. Yeah, Triple H, remember when you called AEW a pissant company? Life comes at you fast, doesn't it? So continuing on, after that we go backstage, where we have a Memorial Day block party backstage involving all the mid-carders and jobbers outside the arena, being hosted by the Usos. What's so great about this is that in this first segment of this thing, we have R-Truth present, our 24/7 champion present with Carmella in the background. Remember that last point. It becomes important later on in the show. But R-Truth is quiet and not making a word so that he doesn't get a whole madness of people behind him. So right now, all quiet on the 24/7 front. So next up, Shane McMahon comes out as Shane gets ready for a one-on-one match. Before this matchup, Shane goes on and says that the McMahons and the Samoan families have gone on for generations. And then Shane said his respect has been engraved in him since day one. I call bullshit. So then Shane once again mentions Roman Reigns hitting Vince McMahon with a stupid man punch about a month ago. Shane, we already know. We know. So then Shane goes on and mentions the Samoan family tree, which consists of the likes of Peter Mafia, The Rock, Yokozuna, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, and then the Wild Samoans, Afa and Sika. Shane, you missed somebody. You missed Rikishi. You missed him too. So then, and you also missed Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and Tamina Snuka, and a couple others. You also missed Nia Jax also. Like, Shane, you botched your own segment. You can't even get the Samoan family tree right. So then Shane goes on and says that Vince has always cleaned up Afa and Sika's mistakes. Well, Vince hasn't done a good job of cleaning his own mistakes either. That's the fucking irony of that. Vince hasn't done a good job of cleaning the mistakes he's made the last decade with this company. Explains why the ratings are at record lows. And why fans are just flat out getting up and leaving this shithole. I don't blame any of them. So then Shane goes on and says that he's taking on somebody from the Samoan family in a rare one-on-one appearance. This person would end up being Roman Reigns' cousin, Lance Inoue. So we have another Samoan. So Lance is pretty much the equivalent of a fucking jobber. So before the match, Drew McIntyre would go and grab Lance and attack him for pre-match assaults. Roman in the barricade, the steps, the ring post, and the apron. Shane goes and says that this is getting out of hand. Well, Shane. No shit. Look what we got here, folks. A fucking comedian. So Shane goes on and says that Drew's actions were uncalled for. Quit sucking his dick, Shane. So then we finally get to the matchup. Shane has Drew McIntyre throw Lance in the ring. Shane then tells Drew that this was not what they discussed, and that they will talk more about this backstage. You'll do nothing to him. This was totally what you had in mind. You can't lie to me, asshole. So to the highlights of the match. Shane's strikes were meh. I mean, it's Shane McMahon. Lance's strikes were okay, and his dropkick was too. Honestly, Lance's strikes were a hell of a lot better than Roman's, cause Roman strikes. Oh, by the way, Roman, out of all the members in your family, you're the fucking worst one in ring. Like, let's talk about Lance here. Lance, he's about as green as a $1 bill. And he can fucking wrestle better than his own cousin. That's just fucking sad. So then match ending, Shane goes, he locks in the triangle hold on Lance for the tap out victory. So, see what I told you? It was just a quick, boring ass match. So then after the match, Shane and Drew McIntyre go and continue to attack Lance for post-match assault. Shane locks the triangle hold back in on Lance. Shane then goes and said that if this was Sika, he would still do the same thing. And then Shane goes on and says that Sika's biggest mistake was spawning Roman Reigns into this world. And then guess whose music hits next? Boring fuckface's music hits, and then boring fuckface walks out. Same crowd reaction as every other week. So Roman did his walk to the ring. Roman then goes, he hits a stupid man punch on Drew McIntyre. When Shane tries to retreat, Roman grabs Shane. Roman then goes and hits a stupid man punch on Shane McMahon. Before Roman could even hit the spear, Drew would grab Shane, and both Shane and Drew would retreat, and Roman stands tall. So Roman, of course, is standing tall. We all know that this Roman-Shane McMahon match is only happening so Shane can put Roman over. We all know how this is going to work. So then continuing on, next up we have Brock Lesnar coming back out again with his B-Bucks. And Paul Heyman coming out with him too. So then Paul says that Brock Lesnar is out here to announce who he'll cash in on. So then Seth Rollins' music hits, and the Universal Champion Seth Rollins comes back out again. Seth goes on and says that WWE is his life, and Brock is making a mockery out of it. Oh, we gotta make sure Seth gets offended because Brock Lesnar is mocking the WWE, and it is an act of treason. So Seth goes on and he calls Brock Lesnar a joke and a coward that hides behind Paul Heyman. So then Seth goes and says that Brock is a shell of his former self. Not really. Brock's former self rarely showed up either. This is no different. So then Paul goes, he pulls the WWE Money in the Bank contract out because they removed the brief contract from the briefcase so Brock could turn the briefcase into a goddamn boombox. So Paul Heyman goes and reads the contract details by the book. Yes, by the book, which means he read it by the book by every single miraculous detail. So during all this, Paul then goes and then mentions the part where Brock only has 1 year to cash the contract in on. And then Brock Lesnar goes right to Paul Heyman. So Brock didn't know about that part. Brock, that's always been a part. You've always had 1 year to cash it in. So Brock goes, he grabs the contract and then slaps Paul Heyman with it. Slapping him upside the head. You slapped Paul with the contract, you bastard. How could you? So Brock Lesnar is a dick to contracts. So then Brock grabs the mic. Brock, hey boy, I reckon I got a whole year to cash this sumbitch in and whatnot. So I reckon I ain't gonna do it right now. I'm just gonna go home, have myself some chicken and taters, and join with my wife. So I reckon, Seth Rollins, you can go fuck yourself and screw yourself. You can also screw your girlfriend, Becky Lynch, too. So I reckon I ain't gonna stay here longer because I already got my paycheck for just showing up here tonight. My overpaid contract paycheck. So I reckon I'm just gonna get the fuck on out of here and get out of here and head home and have myself some chicken and taters. Or find some local KFC. In Kansas City. Because I reckon Kansas City has some good chicken and whatnot. So then Brock Lesnar goes in and leaves the ring. So then while Brock Lesnar is leaving the ring, we then all of a sudden see R-Truth and Carmella running through the crowd as they are being chased by the entire Raw roster, the Jobber division, as they're all looking to take the 24/7 title from R-Truth, even with a couple referees in tow. Eric Young makes an attempt and fails. Damn it, Eric, you had one job. Win a singles title. Like I predicted at the start of the year. You failed. Better luck next time. So then R-Truth goes, he gets out of the ring. R-Truth then leads through the other side of the crowd with Carmella and retreats back into the backstage area. So R-Truth is still champion and has to take on all comers and goers by 24/7 rules. So then after that we have AJ Styles in the Medic Center, because later on tonight we were going to have a fatal 4-way #1 contenders match to decide who will challenge Seth Rollins for the Universal title at Super Showdown. And AJ Styles had a back injury, so he's been replaced with Boring Corbin. Of course, replaced by boring-ass Baron Corbin. So then while AJ's being interviewed in the Medic Center, Boring Corbin goes and then lays out AJ Styles. Oh, whoopee. So next up, we get a women's tag team match. We get the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Nikki Cross versus the women's tag team champions Peyton Royce and Billie Kay of the Iconics. Highlights of the match: Nikki's arm drag was good, but Peyton's roll-through counter was also pretty okay too. Nikki's arm drag was also good, along with Nikki's 2 head tosses. Nikki's double leg from behind was also good, along with her diving crossbody off the apron to both Iconics. Becky's Bexploder was good, along with her leg drop. Iconics' double knee to the face was also good too. Match ending, Becky hits a new finisher move, which is called the Angle Slam. It's a side slam on Peyton Royce, more like a rock bottom. So Becky hits a rock bottom on Peyton Royce. Becky gets the 3 count for the win. So the Iconics still look weak as shit as champion. Honestly, we should just take the fucking belts off them. And I think the belts are going to be coming off them too, because Peyton Royce is about to be punished. Because guess what? You know Peyton Royce's fiancé, Ty Dillinger? Guess where Ty Dillinger is going? He is going to AEW. And yeah, Vince is not a fan of that. So Vince is going to take his anger out on Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. Expect him to drop the titles in a couple weeks. Don't be surprised. Because the wrestling gods still show no mercy. So then after the match, Lacey Evans' music hits and Lacey Evans comes out, does a walk down the ramp, and then walks right back up the ramp. So we went back to Lacey Evans' pre-WrestleMania shit. Oh, whoopee. This shit again. Moving on. So next up, we get a one-on-one match. We get Ricochet versus Cesaro, a rematch from last week. And Ricochet has a healthier back this time, so maybe he'll stand a chance. Highlights of the match: Ricochet's head scissor was good, along with his enziguri and his corkscrew dive. Cesaro's overhead throw was good. Ricochet's super kick was good, along with his springboard clothesline and his standing shooting star press. Cesaro's uppercuts were also good. Ricochet's sunset flip bomb to counter a power bomb was pretty well done. Match ending, Ricochet would hit a spike Hurricane Rana, and then Ricochet got the 3 count for the win. At that point, I was expecting Cesaro to kick out. Like, what? Because, 1, it was sort of botched. Because, 1, Cesaro landed awkwardly on that. And 2, I think Cesaro was supposed to kick out of it, but he forgot to. So, yeah, I think that was a definite botched ending. Because Ricochet usually wins on a fucking 630 splash, not that way. So, weird way to end the match. And then Michael pulled Vince's cock smuggler on the commentary, then announces that next week on Raw, Rey Mysterio will be here to relinquish the United States title since Rey Mysterio has suffered a shoulder injury and will need surgery to repair it. Damn, Rey Mysterio can't catch a break. So Rey Mysterio is still injury prone like he was about 5 years ago. So then after that news was announced, Samoa Joe would then come out to the commentary table. Samoa Joe would then says that he'll be waiting next week to take back what's rightfully his. So then next up, we have our Fatal 4-Way #1 Contenders match to decide who will challenge Seth Rollins for the Universal title at Super Showdown. So we have The Miz versus Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley versus Baron Corbin. Highlights in the match: Bobby's waistlock takedown was good along with Miz's neckbreaker and his it kicks. Baron's side suplex was also good. Oh, Baron learned another new move. How impressive. Bobby's neckbreaker was good. Baron and Bobby's double superplex to Miz, followed by Braun Strowman's double choke slam to Bobby, and Braun was pretty good. Great sequence from all four. Braun's double missile drop kick was good. That's impressive. We've never seen Braun hit a double missile drop kick. Braun's hammer fist was good. Bobby and Baron's standing suplex on the ramp was good. Bobby's vertical suplex was good along with a spine buster. Miz's DDT was good too. Braun's drive-by shoulder tackle was also good along with Baron's deep six. Match ending, Baron hits the end of days on Miz. Baron gets the 3 count for the win. Oh, whoopee. Boring Corbin gets a Universal title opportunity. What a shocking turn of events. So then continuing on, we then go back to the block party, where R-Truth shows up. He gets then chased by the entire roster. Kalisto tries to take the title, fails. Carl Anderson tries again, fails. So R-Truth has been able to stave off all challengers again, heading to SmackDown. So in terms of the 24/7 title, all quiet on that front. After that, we then get another Firefly shithouse segment. I don't fucking care about these segments. Just another waste of Bray Wyatt's potential. Just skip. So then continuing on, we get the Corey Graves news segment called The Electric Chair. Don't worry, it's not a real electric chair. It's just a fake one. What, you think WWE has enough money in their budget to afford a real electric chair? You must be one of those special people. This company is broke as fuck. Any money they did have, they sent it to the superstars to overpay everybody. So the special guest for this electric chair segment is Sami Zayn. So for this segment, the fans will get to ask Sami any questions, and there are no limits to it, and Sami has to answer them all. So question number 1 comes from a man named Eric. So then Eric asks Sami, when is Sami's retirement date? We're really gonna go there. So then Sami goes on and asks if Eric's mom and dad are related, because they were in Kansas City. Sami, that's the wrong redneck and inbred state. Missouri's not even close. The most redneck state in the U.S. is Mississippi, then Oklahoma, then Alabama. Wrong state. You were in the wrong state, man. So then question number 2 comes from a little girl named Iggy. And Iggy asks if Sami misses the Ginger Snaps tag team of him and Becky Lynch from the Mixed Match Challenge a couple years ago. Sorry about that. So then Sami goes and says that Iggy has no manners and that the parents should be ashamed of themselves. And then asks where her parents are. The dad's probably in the bathroom taking a piss. And her mom is probably up there getting fucking food and shit. I don't know, do the fucking math, Sami. So then question number 3 came from a fan up in the crowd, where the fan asked Sami, how did Sami react when Braun Strowman destroyed him a couple weeks ago? Sami Zayn then goes on and says that if he could, he would jump over the barricade and punch him square in the face. So Sami promotes beating on fans. So then Sami goes on and says that he won't do it because he'll sue him. Sammy then goes on and calls the USA a toxic culture. So he's going to take shots at America on Memorial Day. Now that's how you get some heat. So then Sammy goes on and says that Americans are oversensitive, and anytime they get offended, they sue each other. And then Sammy goes on and even takes a shot at the U.S. healthcare and says that the USA healthcare sucks ass. Damn. And keep in mind, folks, Sammy is a goddamn Canadian. And he's part Syrian, too. So then question number 4 came from another little kid fan, where the fan asked why hasn't Sammy won a Universal title yet since his return. Well, one buddy, Sammy has been afforded the opportunities others have. So then Sammy goes on and says that he still wants to hold the fans accountable for their actions. So Sammy is still going to blame the fans for why the company sucks ass, when that is the furthest thing from the truth. So then Sammy goes on and then mentions AEW. Oh, Sammy, you fucking idiot. You just got yourself punished. Yep, Vince, just put Sami Zayn on the punish list too. Also, some more names getting punished. I heard Renee Young's supposed to be getting punished too because Dean Ambrose is now in AEW with Jon Moxley. Natalia's also supposed to be getting punished too because Bret Hart was also at AEW. And let's see, who else? Sasha Banks is supposed to get punished because she was talking praise about AEW. I think, honestly, at this point, I think Sasha's trying to do everything she can to get fired. To get the hell out. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson were also giving praise to AEW, and their contracts are up in the fall, so they're going there too. Odds are WWE will probably punish their good friends Finn Balor and AJ Styles. Don't be surprised if Finn Balor drops the Intercontinental title in a couple weeks as punishment. So yeah, the amount of stars that are about to be punished over AEW is too damn high. So then Seth Rollins' music hits and Seth Rollins comes out to the ring. Sami Zayn and Corey Graves both leave the ring. Seth grabs the electric chair, throws it out of the ring, and the chair gets damaged. So Seth Rollins is a dick to electric chairs. And we find out that this is our impromptu main event. So we have Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn. We get the matchup going after commercial break. And by the way, throughout this entire match, Brock Lesnar was watching from the backstage area. So Brock decided to not go home yet. Hey boy, I reckon I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna have my chicken and taters backstage while watching Seth Rollins kick the shit out of that Sami Zayn boy. So to the matchup, highlights of the match. Sammy's strikes were okay. I mean, it's Sami Zayn. Sammy's pelvis slam was meh. Seth's knee to the back was good. Sammy's snap suplex was okay. Seth's super kick was good along with the swing blade and his blockbuster. Seth's 2 suicide dives were pretty good too. Second suicide dive, Seth would tweak his knee. Oh god, Seth's had bad knee issues, damn it. Sammy's DDT was good. Seth's modified DDT in the corner was okay, along with his low super kick. Seth's insecurity was good, along with Sammy's blue thunder bomb. Seth's stomp was good too. He would hit a stomp, but Seth couldn't get the pin because of the bad knee, preventing him from getting the 3 count. So Seth goes, he gets back up, he hits a second stomp on Sami Zayn. Seth Rollins gets the 3 count for the win. Seth stands tall, and throughout all of this, Brock Lesnar then decides that he wants to go home. So Seth Rollins gets to be champion for at least another day. And that's how we end Raw. Like, I think it's obvious here. Well, the rumors are Brock's supposed to be cashing in Saudi Arabia. So it doesn't matter who wins Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin at Super Showdown. Whoever, because neither of those two are going to be walking out champion. It's going to be Brock Lesnar walking out champion. Like, we know how this is going to work. We know Brock Lesnar's walking out champion. That's without a shadow of a doubt. Because Vince McMahon still feels he needs to masturbate to Brock Lesnar as Universal Champion. So, Raw rating, it was pretty trash. I actually fell asleep at one point in this show and missed fucking nothing. So, show rating, 2 out of 10, my final rating. But yeah, that's the Raw review. What else is new? Vince McMahon's about to be punished. The company's still a fucking massive shithole. Nothing new. Nothing has changed. Like, I want this company to succeed, but they still keep making me say bad things. You know, same old shit every fucking week. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, folks. Hope everyone's a great day, and yeah, peace out.